Have you ever helped someone and felt proud only to watch them get stuck in the exact same place a year later? That sting in the chest. That's not failure. It's a wake-up call. Today I'm going to show you the single trait that separates confident people who give well from the nice people who burn out, get used, or accidentally make things worse. Meet Marcus, 34, team lead. He volunteers every weekend, hands out cash to a struggling coworker, and then wonders why the coworker never learns to manage money. Marcus is kind, absolutely, but his kindness is missing one thing: a map. And that missing map is what turns help into harm. In the next 30 minutes, you'll get 3 science-backed rules for smart kindness, a simple framework you can use tomorrow, and real stories that make the idea stick. You'll also hear why saying no sometimes means yes to who you really want to be. Kindness is powerful, but reckless kindness can be the opposite of power. Stick with me. The most important idea is saved for the end. And yes, I'll even show a practical way to help that doesn't make you feel like you failed. Let's start. Why blind kindness backfires. Rachel, 29, organizer for a small NGO. She runs a food program that hands out weekly grocery cards. The neighborhood is grateful. But 3 years later, the same families are still lining up. Here's the problem, plain and simple. Good intentions alone don't create long-term change. Dr. Barbara Oakley's work on what some call pathological altruism shows that help without a plan can create dependency. When assistance replaces opportunity, people can lose the very skills they need to grow. Think of it like giving someone a fish every day and then wondering why they never learned to fish. Let's break it down with 3 clinical-size bites of truth. First, the immediate fix. Handing out money, food, or bailouts solves pain for a day. That's essential sometimes. But if the delivery ignores training, systems, or accountability, it becomes a repeating loop. The receiver's short-term survival improves, while their long-term resilience declines. Second, the signal. Repeated, unconditional aid can say to a community, "We won't invest in your capacity, we will simply cover for you." That signal discourages local initiative, local business, and local problem-solving. The side effect is predictable: less innovation and fewer local solutions. Third, the resource drain. Your time, money, and empathy are finite. Scatter them thinly and nothing changes meaningfully. Waste is not just money, it's goodwill. People who give without structure often burn out faster than those who give thoughtfully. Ask 3 questions before you act. Who benefits most? What skill or resource will they still need in 6 months? And what exit strategy lets them stand on their own? If you can't answer those, you're likely gifting dependency. If kindness came with a user manual, it would be titled, "Do not operate without boundaries." Okay, that's 2 jokes this part, but the point is real. Kindness without boundaries is a short circuit. Kindness needs clarity, it needs context, it needs a plan. In the next section, we'll look at the most powerful personal tool to keep your kindness sustainable: boundaries. Boundaries as a shield, not a wall. Jamal, 36, software engineer, always the yes guy. He ends up working weekends, lending money to friends, and feeling exhausted. Start with the research. Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend teach that a lack of boundaries leads to emotional depletion, resentment, and a shrinking sense of self. Neuroscience backs this up. Chronic giving without replenishment raises cortisol, the stress hormone, keeping your body in a low-grade fight-or-flight mode. Over months and years, That raises risks for heart disease, anxiety, and cognitive fog. Not dramatic, just slow, quiet erosion. Let's make that human. Jamal kept saying yes until his sleep vanished and his mood soured. One day he snapped at a friend over nothing. He felt guilty and then worse because he'd been trying to be the good guy at his own expense. Boundaries are not cold, they are oxygen. 3 boundary types you can use today. Time boundaries. Set your availability. Example, I can help on Tuesday evenings, not weekends. Simple, repeatable, prevents the slow creep of demands. Resource boundaries. Be clear about financial limits. Example, I can give a small loan, but I won't be a monthly backstop. Protects your financial future and avoids enabling dependency. Emotional boundaries. Recognize when a person's problems become your emotional habit. You can empathize without absorbing. A phrase that helps? I hear you. I can support by, but I can't carry this alone. Practical micro-habit. Adopt the pause and plot rule. Before you say yes, take 24 hours to check in with your calendar, your wallet, and your headspace. This tiny delay is transformational. It gives you perspective and keeps you from reflexive giving.
Boundaries are the grown-up version of do not disturb. Also, they are way more effective than pretending you're fine while silently screaming into your pillow. Boundaries let you give longer and better. They are a shield that protects your capacity to be kind, not a wall that shuts you off. Next, we'll dig into the engine that decides whether your help is valuable. Motive. Motive matters. Who you're doing it for. Elena, 28, volunteer coordinator who loves applause. She posts every good deed online and then measures self-worth by likes. Start with Adam Grant's simple but brutal taxonomy. Givers, matchers, and takers. Givers act from genuine care for others. Matchers give when they can expect reciprocity. Takers prioritize their own gain. But here's the key. Motives aren't moral black boxes. They're practical signals. If you give to feel seen, you'll tie your identity to other people's responses. That makes giving fragile. If you give to genuinely expand others' capacity, your giving is durable and healthy. Let's test motives with 2 questions you can run silently before any act. Am I giving to soothe my own discomfort or to solve a real need? If it's about your discomfort, pause. Comfort-driven giving often looks productive but changes little. Will this action reduce someone's future need for help? Great. If not, consider a different move. When Elena organized donation drives for homeless people, she felt fantastic, until one winter she noticed the same people back on the streets. She switched strategy. Instead of only dropping off items, she spent 2 months building relationships with a job training center. The result was slower but stable. More people found work, fewer returns. Her satisfaction became steadier because the wins were structural, not just emotional. Intention, impact, exit. Name your intention, estimate the impact after 6 months, and plan an exit. If you can't plan an exit, you're not helping sustainably. Opinion interlude. If you want to be truly confident, let your motives be quiet and your results noisy. Do the hard, unglamorous work that leads to real outcomes. That's where influence grows. Motive shapes value. In the next part, we'll talk about capability. Not every good heart has the right tools. Helping without skill can harm as much as no help at all. Kindness paired with competence and responsibility. Chris, 40, well-meaning father who gives cash to his adult son with addiction struggles and wonders why nothing changes. Daniel Goleman teaches that emotional intelligence matters in helping. Good heart plus poor strategy equals trouble. In real life, giving money to someone with an addiction may relieve immediate pressure, but can worsen the cycle. The same applies to professional help. Giving advice without expertise can set someone back. 3 practical rules to follow when competence matters. Rule 1. Diagnose before you deliver. Ask a few careful questions. What's the root cause? What supports exist? What barriers do they face? Diagnosis protects you from making assumptions. Rule 2. Match support to need. If the need is medical, point to medical help. If it's financial literacy, connect to a program. If you don't know, admit it, and then find someone who does. Humility and network trumps false confidence. Rule 3. Use layered support. Combine short-term relief with long-term capacity building. Example, short-term cash plus enrollment in a skills course plus a follow-up check-in. The short-term buys breathing room, the long-term buys independence. A local shelter once handed out rent checks with no case management. Months later, eviction rates stayed the same. They retooled. Smaller emergency grants, mandatory budget coaching, and partner referrals. The eviction rate fell. Same money, different structure, far better results. A small wry aside, imagine trying to fix a car by offering hugs. Hugs are good, but they do not replace a mechanic. Responsibility matters. If you choose to help, own the outcomes. That doesn't mean you carry everything alone. It means you plan for outcomes, measure them, and adapt. So far, we've covered why blind kindness fails, why boundaries protect you, motives, and competence. Now let's talk about how smart kindness can ripple outwards, the real multiplier effect. Smart kindness creates a ripple effect. Maya, 32, community teacher, who invests in one parent and watches a classroom change in 6 months.
Harvard's Center for Public Leadership and related research show a simple truth. Well-targeted kindness spreads. When you help someone gain a skill, that person influences others, friends, family, coworkers. This is the ripple effect. The initial action multiplies. A microloan program that included financial coaching did more than help borrowers. Borrowers started small businesses, hired neighbors, and taught others basic bookkeeping. The small initial investment created a new local economic habit. That's ripple. 3 practical ways to design for ripple. Choose nodes, not droplets. Nodes are people or groups with natural influence. Teachers, small business owners, community leaders. Droplets are random one-offs. Nodes multiply impact. Pair material help with transferable skills. Money buys time. Skills buy future autonomy. Always designed for skill transmission. Build feedback loops. Measure whether your help changes behavior in the network. If not, iterate. Seed, teach, share. Seed the resource, teach the skill, and create mechanisms for sharing so others can copy it. Maya worked with a single dad, teaching him basic digital skills. He started a home repair business that used online classifieds. Within a year, he'd hired 2 helpers from his neighborhood and showed them how to invoice clients. The change spread beyond income. Confidence rose, kids got steadier school support, and the whole neighborhood normalized entrepreneurship. If kindness had a marketing department, its slogan would be, "Make it viral, but in a good way." The ripple is how a single, well-considered act becomes systemic. Next, we're going to give you a clear framework you can use after this video, something simple to remember and apply. A practical framework for intelligent giving. Zoe, 25, new manager who wants to be generous at work without being the office ATM.
Introducing the ACT framework, a short, memorable checklist you can run through before every act of help. ACT stands for Assess, Configure, Transfer. Assess. Quick diagnosis. Who is this for? What is the actual need? What are the constraints? Ask 2 diagnostic questions. What will change in 30 days? And what skill will they need to stay changed in 1 year? Configure. Design the support. Decide on the delivery method, direct resource, training, mentor match, or referral. Configure an exit plan. How will this support taper off without hurting outcomes? A 2-step example. Provide 1 month of rent and enroll them in a financial counseling program. Transfer. Build capacity and handover. Who will keep this going? Who will teach others? Transfer creates the ripple. It could be as small as a printed checklist, a short training session, or a peer support pair. Real-world micro-example. Zoe had a teammate, Alex, struggling with deadlines. Instead of doing the work, Zoe used ACT. Assess, Alex missed planning skills. Configure, arranged a 2-week sprint coaching session. Transfer, paired Alex with a peer mentor who kept him accountable. Result, Alex improved and the mentor gained leadership experience. Everybody leveled up. 2 quick habits to make ACT stick. The 24-hour pause. Don't answer yes immediately. Use the pause to assess properly. This avoids reflexive giving. The 2-question check-in. After 4 weeks, ask, what changed and what still needs help? If change is low, reconfigure. Confidence is not the same as being available 24/7. Confident givers choose where to invest. They use frameworks. They plan their exit strategy. This is not cold calculus. It's smart care. You now have a practical tool to make kindness durable. But frameworks are abstract without examples. In the next section, we'll walk 2 vivid short stories, one that failed and one that succeeded, so you can feel the difference. 2 real stories, failure and success. Story A, the well-meaning disaster. Local charity director Sam, mid-40s. Situation, Sam launched an emergency cash program during a hurricane. It was generous and fast, but months later, the same neighborhood still lacked jobs, and many recipients used the cash for short-term needs without rebuilding income. The result? Good deeds, no durable change. Sam felt crushed.
What went wrong? No skill building, no local partners, no exit strategy. It was rescue without repair. Story B, the strategic win. A small nonprofit led by Priya, 38, situation. Priya used the same emergency funds differently. She reserved a portion for immediate relief, paired another portion with rapid job skill boot camps, and partnered with local businesses to guarantee interviews for top graduates. 6 months later, many families had regained steady income, and the program reduced repeat assistance needs. Priya used Assess, configured Help for Learning, and set a transfer mechanism, employer partnerships. The ripple appeared as new hires started buying local services, and kids returned to school with fewer absences. It's like the difference between giving someone a bandage and teaching them how to stop getting paper cuts in the first place. Bandages are nice. Bandage-only plans are not sustainable. Do some diagnosis before you act. Combine immediate help with a capacity-building component. Partner locally. Local actors own solutions. Build a short timeline and a clear handover plan. These stories are not theoretical. They show how small planning choices change outcomes. They also show that confident kindness is not cooler than humble competence. It's the both combined. If you're someone who wants both inner clarity and practical tools to help sustainably, there are methods that train not just emotions, but disciplined practice. Later, I'll share one course that helps you build that inner clarity and practical skill set, and why it might be a match for people who want to give well without burning out.
If you're someone who cares about inner clarity and wants practical skills to give in ways that last, there's a training path that fits this approach. At the end of this video, I'd like to introduce a resource that many people have used to develop both inner work and practical coaching skills. Ho'oponopono Certification is an online program led by Dr. Joe Vitale, Matthew Dixon, and Dr. Ihalekale Helen. It teaches Ho'oponopono techniques framed for modern practice, with step-by-step guidance, a detailed guidebook, and practical exercises. The course includes 8 video lessons with guided practices, testing, and a short essay requirement for certification. Completion results in a certificate from Global Sciences Foundation. The program is designed to help you clear the noise inside, the guilt, the over-responsibility, the reactive impulses, so you can act from centered clarity. For people committed to sustainable giving and coaching, that internal reset pairs well with the frameworks we discussed. You get tools to manage your emotional reactivity and practices to return to when you need perspective. The course is self-paced, offers a clear certification path, and often runs at a promotional price with a 60-day money-back guarantee. If you want to learn more, check the course page linked below the video description. No pressure, just the pathway you can take if you want to grow. Be kind, be smart, and take the long view. That's the most powerful trait of the truly confident.